What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's going on with the overall market and break down some very important levels on Tesla, SPY, Nvda, and the QQQ. I'm also going to talk about some big news affecting Tesla as we have a deal involving Jaguar to discuss, not to mention some new Tesla board settlement updates from their lawyers as they have some new fees to discuss and the FST improvements. But before I begin to dive about all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am personally not a financial planner, so take none of this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you are guaranteed up to 12 free stocks. The offer ends in just 6 days, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, let's break down what's going on with the overall market just very, very briefly. Looking at Tesla, we got this big sell-off today, and we're currently holding the 200 EMA on the 4-hour time frame. The 200 EMA, is key for Tesla right now. It needs to hold this. If we hold this, we do have potential to try to bounce back to 260. If we break below this, we're going to start tanking towards this gap all the way down to fill the gap at this 249 to 250 level. What looks more probable, in my opinion, is we have this head and shoulders, and Tesla's looking very weak right now. From a technical standpoint, right now, it does look to me like it's more likely Tesla's going to come down to fill the gap. And we're going to see a little bit more downside before some buyers start to defend their positions in the 249 area into the very high 240s. So I do believe Tesla's going to fill this gap very soon. The odds favor more downside, but just to be safe, you want to watch for confirmation. SPY has support at 431. If we bounce off this, 433 plus could come. If we break below it, then 429 could come. As of right now, we do look more bearish from a technical standpoint, but there's a bullish divergence on the 30 minutes time frame, so anything could really happen, right? So you want to be open-minded nonetheless, but just know that the odds do favor more weakness as the market does not give us any signals of a bounce just yet. So we could see 429 very soon. So I just want to be open-minded first. You never know what could happen off the support, so watch it carefully, but the odds do favor downside as the signals still look weak as of right now. Now, Apple's trying to bounce a bit, but it's still looking kind of weak, especially looking at the daily candlestick. This looks like it may see more downside. We're going to be watching 173.5. If we bounce off that, we could see Apple push for 175 plus. If we break below 173.5, we're going to be watching the 171 zone to be tested. This looks more bearish as we have a head and shoulders like pattern, and the odds do favor a weak daily close. So Apple's looking weaker, but just to be safe, you want to watch for confirmation. For the QQQ, it looks relatively weak on the daily charts. Watch 357 as support. If we bounce off this, then 360 plus could come. If we break below this, then 354 is on the table. It looks more bearish, so it looks like it may visit 354, maybe fill this gap down here. I think it actually almost filled the gap at 357, but it could come all the way down to 354 before getting the bounce. It still looks more bearish from a technical standpoint on the 4-hour and also on the 30 minutes time frame. Nvidia is barely at support around this 407 zone. It looks like it may visit 400 to 403 before trying to bounce. That's this support right here off this imbalance. So it looks more bearish, but just to be safe, we're going to be watching just for safety. Anyways, with that said, guys, I went over the market, some very important levels to watch for. Now I just want to quickly go over the news. We have some good news for Tesla's long-term. Jaguar has signed a deal with Tesla for the supercharger access. It's going to be adopting the NACS cable. Now that's very, very good news. The connector that's going to be incorporated with the Jaguar. This allows them to not only have more and more of a bigger audience, but allows them a lot more support. It gives them a support line technically for their different users, and it's going to allow more and more people to be a part of this business for Tesla. The supercharger network is estimated to be worth about over $20 billion over the upcoming years for Tesla, according to different stats. And that is some good news for Tesla as this is continuing to grow for them. This is great news for Tesla, very, very bullish. Ford and GM were the first ones to really adopt them, and now more companies are joining in. And I just see this domino effect continuing. Right? We saw Honda the other day join in, and now Jaguar has joined in. This is great news for them, and this is going to continue to be bullish for Tesla, generating more revenue. There was also news that came out that Tesla has rolled out a virtual power plant in San Diego for their customers, and they announced this late last month to start its own virtual power plant program, which would leverage household backup batteries and smart devices to reduce demand and increase supply of electricity. Now, this allows for a much larger grid for them to share this power, and this can actually help other individuals make some money. And when the grid is too stressed, they could actually kind of like reposition where the electricity is going to be flowed. Now, that's technically very good for a state like California, in my opinion, knowing how crazy electricity could be over there. So this could be very useful. And at the same time, I do believe that the state in itself needs to upgrade its power grid system, but This could be somewhat useful for an improvement for different areas. So, at the same time, there are a lot of benefits, and this could help bring in a lot more demand. The demand response are often expensive because of the high blackout rates in that neighborhood. So this is good for them, and this could help them use energy a lot more efficiently. This could also incentivize more and more individuals to get these power walls connected and these other very important things. So this is a very important virtual power plant. It's going to connect thousands of internet connected devices in a wide area, and then help them see the grid areas and basically test different things. So it's very, very interesting. It's very good to get this data, and it's going to be very good for Tesla's future. So very good news for them, very good for Tesla Energy, and I can't wait for what the future holds. And you can see more data just like this in the apps. It looks very, very nice. There's also this news that came out that Tesla's board settlement lawyers want about $10,690 per hour in their payout. That's pretty extreme. I mean, we know that attorney fees and litigation fees tend to be very high, but this is kind of ridiculous. But anyways, $10,000 an hour seems like a lot. As of right now, and part of why they're negotiating with some kind of like crazy payouts like this is because the work in itself is for one of the possible largest payouts in history. And it could become that way if that's what ends up happening in the case. And that's part of why they want to get their sum of the pie. We can see right here the board settlement occurred earlier this year, saw the directors of the company return more than $700 million for allegedly overpaying themselves. The attorneys are asking for more. And right here, we can see the lawyers are now requesting the Delaware court to basically approve a $229 million payout. That would be the largest ever from a shareholder lawsuit filed against the board. It's possible for a company like Tesla, but at the same time, we'll see if they approve it. But this is still pretty insane. We'll see if this ends up happening. I mean, I don't know about it, but if it happens, then it is what it is. Now, there's also a lot of talk about how Tesla could be the winner in the UAW strike against Detroit's Big Three. This right here is some big news for Tesla, as not only does it allow the winner to expand its cost advantage over its rivals, but it gives more and more attention to Tesla as time goes on. Because looking at this, Elon Musk also added about this, and he was speaking about how Tesla has a lot of benefits for its employees. The pay working for Tesla is quite decent, even though the job is very demanding. I know Tesla has a very, very ambitious amount of goals, but the job itself is very demanding. There's some good benefits, such as like their overall stock programs, not to mention their referrals and their. I read something about their options program, which is very, very good. Can make a lot of their employees lots of money. So seeing these higher wages and things like this, I do believe that this could benefit Tesla. This could give Tesla a lot more attention. And there's been a lot of talk about Tesla potentially benefiting from this big time. So that is technically the company as time goes on. That's very important and worth noting. To add on to this, we had some more improvements to the Tesla autopilot visualizations. We can see the FSD beta visuals were right over here, and they did incorporate some new changes right here. You can see how it's much easier to perceive different vehicles and their shapes and etc. like that. It's very, very good with these improvements in the visuals. This could be more useful for different people out there. They're going to also use dynamic vehicle resizing so that way it looks like more realistic, more up to date when it comes to the scales. And the 3D modeling is going to be more useful for their different users. Besides that, I think this is going to be more useful for Tesla, make things a lot better for their interface. And this is going to be more and more helpful for more different drivers out there. Besides that, I think that's pretty much it for the major pieces of news coming out for Tesla so far. As of right now, that is. And I'm very happy about the Jaguar deal that came out. I mean, that is great news for Tesla in itself. And more companies are going to likely continue to join in and try to get their part of the pie. So this is good news for Tesla. I really want the best for the company. I think the future is still very bright. However, historically, when it comes to the share price of Tesla, the markets tend to sell off during the month of September, during the last 2 weeks. And that's what's happening so far. So there could be more downside coming nonetheless, as the technicals in Tesla are looking a bit more bearish, especially if we break below this EMA. So watch the EMA very carefully, the 200 EMA on the 4-hour time frame. We'll see if this holds or not. And with that said, have a great day, everyone. Thank you for listening. I'll see you guys very soon. Take care and peace out.